Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jean Vail, and I'd like to introduce you to the poetry of Elizabeth Brigham Rooney. Elizabeth was born in 1924, the daughter of a classics scholar and amateur botanist, and a gifted English teacher, whose combined interests inspired in her a deep appreciation of nature and a love of literature. That they lived closely tied to the land on a thriving farm in southwestern Wisconsin no doubt influenced Elizabeth's evolving spirituality and much later provided the inspiration for her writing. But first, she earned a scholarship to Smith College, from which she graduated Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude, a master's degree in Christian education from Columbia and Union Theological Seminary provided the intellectual undergirding to support her eventual writing. Marriage to a recently ordained Episcopal priest and managing a rapidly growing family occupied Elizabeth's young life in the urban East until she and her husband, Mike Rooney, decided to return to rural Wisconsin and Elizabeth's childhood home in Blue Mounds. Managing that property and the fascinating cave that had been discovered there was a full-time occupation. The Cave of the Mounds had become a demanding tourist attraction. It was not until the late 1970s that Elizabeth began writing in earnest, her creative capacities soon overflowing in verse. She said she felt as if my veins were bubbling with champagne, and the poems began to flow freely, coming as surprises day after day. As she continued to mature spiritually, the poems continued to flow. And by the time of her death in February 1999, she had written over 700 of them. We're indebted to Elizabeth's daughter, Patricia, for setting herself the task of gathering and publishing her mother's work. The result was a collection in 4 sections representing the 4 natural seasons of the year. Elizabeth herself referred to her work as all miracle, acknowledging the gift of God that each of her poetic observations was. I'm going to read for you a selection from each of the seasons, beginning with Morning Song, which corresponds to spring. I don't know if you can see the illustration for Morning Song. Morning in March. Today is a day for kites, for things that soar, for spirits and for hawks and songs of praise. Everything longs to fly, shingles, the flag, the laundry on the line, old leaves, small boys. All kinds of tied-down things are pulling hard and straining at their strings. Old Mother Earth, let go. They'll come back after a turn or two around the sky. But right now, sun, wind, spring, oh, everything, keep calling them to fly. Chimney swifts. The chimney swifts cut patterns in the sky. They snip, 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 great soaring circles of the hanging blue, and carry them away to line their nests, so fledgling chimney swifts, born in the dark, soot-blinded, will be reminded of the sky and know which way to go when they begin to fly. Homesick. I stood before a hill in Ireland once, close-cropped, rock-strewn, a short, steep Irish hill, no mountain 'tis. Yet such a hill, it seems, could cut off half the western sky and rob a man of courage, hope, and dreams. I felt as though I too were thrall to some deep magic in the Irish soil that would have held me there or called me home, no matter where I sailed or tried to roam. However rich and famous I became in some far place, that Irish hillside would have called my name and wooed me back again to its scarred face. April invitation. Come with me, love, into the sweet and singing mists of spring. The air that pierced is soft about us now. The saturated earth moves like a living thing beneath our feet. The freezing time is over, done, complete. Now everything melts, runs, drips, gurgles, fills and overflows. Come, love, and see the new life all around us, bursting free. The way life works. Buds are made to uncurl, sails and flags to unfurl. A chrysalis must open to release a butterfly. We fear this law of birth that animates our earth and shrink within our shells, wishing that God had made some less demanding plan and not asked so much openness of man. Quest. Leap the tall hedges that enclose your mind and ride your winged dreams into the far, far reaches of the sky. Leave far behind the small things you were sure of. Go and find the things in heaven and earth which this old world has not imagined yet. Go and do not forget to bring back moons and miracles, so we who stay at home can also start to see. Okay, so that was spring, and we move on to summer. And the title of this one is Packages. If I could wrap a field of butterflies, I'd package them for you. I'd put in all the colors and a lot of sunshine, too. I'd gather up a summer breeze and all the fluttering and wrap them with brown paper and tie them up with string. I've only words for wrapping and only rhymes for string. With these, beloved of my heart, I give you everything. Reading lesson. What shall I write, my Lord? Write about me. What shall I tell them, Lord? Tell them how beautiful I am. But that's been written already, Lord, in the sky, in the pine needles, under my feet, in granite and sand, in all of the sparkle and shine of your world. I know, child. I wrote the book. Tell them to look. Big and little. Creator of the splendor of the skies, thank you for bothering to make fireflies. After you lit the moon that lights the night and got the planets orbiting just right, did you look down on Earth and laugh and shrug and make the lightning bug? And now the snail's lament. Creator God, you made me snails, helpless and soft, all eyes and tail. Your love designed me small and slow. Dear God, with all the possibilities at your command, why did you make me so? Remembering. I held a swallow once within my hand and felt the sweet life trembling in the bones. It was so swift, so delicate, so strong, a magic creature made of wings and song, and yet so vulnerable in my palm. When it was warmed and soothed, at peace and calm, I let it go, back to the open sky from which it came. Now all the sky sings for me, and the hollow of my hand will never be the same. Summer. Summer is for remembering, for feeling wet grass cool beneath your feet, for sitting on the porch and shelling peas, for strawberries, for hearing screen doors slam, for drinking lemonade so sour sweet, the taste explodes in your throat like the 4th of July. Summer is sky, sky wheeling with fireworks, sky when the stars come down and flicker on and off among the trees, sky full of tasseling corn, sky interlaced with feathered heads of grass when you lie on your back to watch the high clouds pass. Summer is coming home from the pool with your clothes damp on your skin and your body cool. Summer is hammocks and picnics and croquet, and even after summer goes away, summer is for remembering. Roots. Unlike so many Americans whose pasts have become apartment parking lots, I sleep each night in the room where I was conceived. I can remember other shoes in the closet, other shapes in the bed. Is it safe to dream in this room, or will the shapes of my childhood overwhelm today? I am deep-rooted here, the child who sat in this window long ago, one with the child who lives within me now. I do not wish either to hoard or throw away this past, simple to be, here in the present, aware of its working in me. And train whistle. I hear it in the night, years afterward, a long, low trumpet call, far, far away. I was only a child, hunched at the window, looking at the moon, imagining what I would do someday when I first heard its low, deep-throated call. It made me want to conquer some distant world where there were streets and skyscrapers and power. I still remember the thrill and the pull of it, as if I heard it just within the hour. Shells on the beach. This one is but tongue-in-cheek. You see them under palm trees on the sands with glasses in their hands. The graceful woman and the older man appear to be enjoying a good time. For them, enjoying a good time is to appear to be enjoying a good time. Among those who are mannered and well-dressed and suitably surrounded by the best, the understated symbols of their worth imply that they've inherited the earth. Someone is taking pictures. When they look at the pictures, will they be able to tell whether or not real people are living inside each shell? It's a little Garden by moonlight. The August garden stands heavy with moonlight and the scented sound of crickets in the night. Among the shadowed blossoms, clots of white show where sweet flocks form quiet pools of light. Dreaming of sun and butterflies, the tangled heap of blossom lies beneath the moon in sleep. That was Garden by Moonlight. This one is August. August leans on the land. We stagger with his weight, the heaviness of heat, the slow, rich ripening, brazen, tyrannical. He was well named for Rome. We cower away from August in the cool of lakes, caves, cellars, air-conditioned rooms, living like refugees in darkened tombs. Corn thrives in August, swaggers and grows tall, but we struggle through the days and long for fall. Oh, this last one is Tornado Watch. The storm toys with the house, nuzzling it like some great beast of prey. We tremble between its paws and feel its breath, warm, urgent, seeking. We try the radio for reassurance, only to hear a cool voice far away, talking of Chinese art and Mozart's diaries. Meanwhile, the great beast slobbers on the glass. We pray and do not sleep and wait for night to pass. I love the title of this one for autumn. The title is Storing September. And the first poem has that name, Storing September. You ask me what I did today. I could pretend and say I don't remember. But no, I'll tell you what I did today. I stored September. Sat in the sun and let the sun sink in. Let all the warmth of it caress my skin. When winter comes, my skin will still remember the day I stored September. And then my eyes, I filled them with the deepest, bluest skies and all the traceries of wasps and butterflies. When winter comes, my eyes will still remember the day they stored September. And there was cricket song to fill my ears, and the taste of grapes and the deep purple of them, and asters like small clumps of sky. You know how much I love them. That's what I did today, and I know why. Just simply for the love of it, I stored September. Industrious. I am a spider, spinning threads of thought. Gossamer bits float off, are carried by the breeze. Some stay and can become a web of words, entrapping fancies on the morning dew. My work is weaving wonderment for you. And then we have school bus. The bright yellow box full of children moves through the morning, gathering in the smiles, the warm hands. Each carries our love wrapped in wax paper, carefully hoarded till noon. How little we know of the mystery dwelling within them, of what is beginning to grow. Know only that we must send them out to wait by the mailbox, up the steps, into the box, trusting life's unpredictable afternoon to bring them back to us. Cricket. A cricket creaked and cricketed across the path in front of me. His earnest progress zigged and zagged because he was so crickety. Sharing. The wasp and I are lazy in the autumn sun. Why hurry? Winter seems so far away. Yes, we both know that frost will come, but for today we browse about, soaking up all the light we come upon. We fumble, bumble, brush against each other, but not in anger. I do not swat, nor am I stung. Today there's warmth enough for all of us. Isn't there, little brother? And rooster. You strut in the grass behind me, gangling threats and trying to peck my legs. Red wattled and magnificent, you are all arrogance and bluff. You do not seem to remember the ball of fluff I held in my hand last spring. You think of yourself as a lord, as a ruler, a king, husbanding all your harem of hens, cock of the walk, of the farm, of the land. You are fierce and feathered and grand, but don't ask me to scuttle meekly off like some fat hen. I knew you when. Side lights. The settling sun looked back at the little town and sent its love. Long lines of light mellowed and warmed the roofs. A kind of softness overlay the earth. The barns turned pink, the cornfields lavender, and all the windows blazed with sudden fire. The loveliness made love perceptible, a glory we could see and almost touch. Even when dark came on, the gentle gray recalled the wonder of the end of day. Friend moon, old moon, of course we gave you a face. We've watched you swimming the seas of space, or wrapping yourself in clouds of lace. We've seen you tending the stars like sheep, and felt you bright on the face of sleep. You've watched us love, and you've watched us weep. At every age and in every place, you share our lives, and you share our space. Old moon, of course we gave you a face. Golden gift. I will remember how the flakes of fall came spinning, spinning down the shafts of light, pieces of gold new minted by the frost. Tree treasure tossed across the gleaming morning by the breeze. God's golden gift, these memories, will warm us when the world turns crystal cold. A person in her own right. I want to read a note that's at the bottom of this one. It says it is a reflection after hearing a monologue by the alcoholic wife of an English vicar. Makes it a poignant reflection. She had intended to have lived a life marked by small moments of success. Her casseroles sought out at potluck suppers, hers the best bread and the most towering cake, her kitchen floor the cleanest, and her choice of drapes so suitable. She had expected friends who cherished both her kindness and her wit, who sought her out for comfort and advice. It would have been so nice to have had friends, and not this empty loneliness, this corrugating grief. Couldn't they understand how desperately she needed relief? And November. Goose feather sky, feel the winter coming. Goose feather sky, all the leaves fall down. The snows of winter are whirring, humming. They will cover the earth with gray goose down. Goose feather sky, all the grasses quiver. The earth grows barren and sere and brown. Goose feather sky, how the branches shiver. The birds have gone, all the leaves fall down. And the fourth season is winter, and it's called gift wrapped. Quiet time. Now are we winter deep in quietness, the shadowed snow, the gliding owl, the moon keep silent vigil now. We can be still, so still we start to know the depth of everything. So still, we hear the stars begin to sing. Dry grass. I would be sere and brown and barren now, the urgency of spring withdrawn, invisible to me. I would be deeply quiet, resting here beneath the gathering snow. There is no effort left in me, only the slow, still resting and the waiting for the spring. It is a good time, this time of quietness, this time of letting go of everything. Stars. Swallow a sky full of stars, then close your eyes and taste their mystery. Feel in yourself the cold immensity of all the space that lies among, between, around that far, faint light. Taste all the shining frostiness of night. And this one is rediscovery. The winter skies sparkle with more than frost. Magic the ancients knew, and we have lost lies there among the stars. Will we again learn to stand still in the enclosing dark? Hush now and hark. Another hush. Winter has tucked me in, laid her cool finger softly on my lips and whispered, hush. As I grow still, 1,000 hushes fall past my windowsill. Silently, each one brushes against my eyes, and I grow quiet, stilled, and winter-wise. Love's handiwork. Only a God of love would care enough to make the winter sky so deep a blue. Only a God of love would glaze each branch with ice, then sugar it with frost, so that each shining twig reflects light twice. Only a God of love would sculpture snow in drifts so lavish, such a blinding white. Only a God of love would make from cold this dazzling crystal filigree. Open your winter-weary eyes and see. Snow. The snow comes lightly, whitely, dancing down. It seems to play at winter, unafraid of cold or of its own fragility. We watch a miracle as all these tiny, exquisite bits of creation pour down on us, till the accumulation muffles and stills and stops our busy nation. This one is called Small Voyagers, and it reminds me of Dylan Thomas's A Child's Christmas in Wales, which I like to read in the Christmas season. Small voyagers, small boys defying gravity and cold, speed down the ice, bold with success. They've conquered winter twice. Red-cheeked, triumphant, swift and sure, they sail small ships before a windy, freezing gale. Lord, may they move through life with equal strength and grace, whatever tests and trials they have to face. Foragers, solemn as judges in a row, their black robes trailing in the snow, 5 wary, wise, wild turkeys go. Pilgrims of winter, in the hungry moon, for those like us, spring cannot come too soon. Letting go. Day dies, the brightness dims, the glow is fading from the western sky. It was a lovely day, sun-warmed, snow-bright, alive with birds and squirrels. I hate to lose it in the coming night. I want a whole day close, to cling and say that I will not forget to bring this day alive again. And yet, if I stay shut within my memories and nourish sorrow, I will miss all the wonder of tomorrow. Complete. When all my songs have stuttered into silence and I stand awed and still, tongue-tied and thrilled by majesty and glory, then it will be enough to know your presence, enough simply to be one small, responsive part of your creation, known as me. This is New Horizons. Since I was always told that grass was green, I didn't until my own eyes saw that grass was pink. There was this fringe of grass beside the walk, each slender stalk feathered with palest rose. Now I'm not so sure that those who've known all about grass but only seen it mown can limit it for me. If grass is pink, then grass contains such unimagined possibility. And finally, Harbinger. As dainty and demure as nuns, serenely coiffed in slate and white, the juncos have been faithful through the snow. Suddenly all is movement and music. A shimmer of shaken silver falls from the maples. The bushes ring with a myriad tiny bells. Rejoice, my winter-weary heart. It is the sound of spring. There we have the 4 seasons.